Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna give you my top 10 tips to help increase your motivation to work out. So in this video, we're gonna go over research-backed tips that if you put a little time into are gonna have a big payoff. So let's get into it. So the first group of tips are your setup. If you are gonna be brushing your teeth regularly, which should be a healthy habit for you, you need essentially two things. One is a toothbrush and the second is a toothpaste. If you don't have those things, guess what? You're probably not going to be brushing your teeth. Similarly, we got to set up properly for exercise. Number one is scheduling. I don't care how you schedule, whether you write it down on your hand, you write it down on a piece of paper, you write it down on an actual calendar. I personally use Google Calendar, but I know when I'm going to be training, okay? Now, it doesn't need to be exactly at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever, but it can be a general time frame where you know that's the window where you will train, and you need to make that a priority. So nothing else can go in that schedule, and make sure that that schedule is also consistent too. So if it's every Monday that you work out at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., you should make that a regular time. Put that as a recurring appointment in your calendar. Set it up. Number two is you got to plan what you're going to be doing during your workouts. So I have a strength training routine. Here is my warm-up that I do daily, and it makes sure that I'm following all the things that I need to do. And if I need to tweak it, I'll tweak it, but I'm still gonna write it down and make sure that I'm sending this to myself. So whether you're walking for 15 minutes a day, whether you're running for 30 minutes a day, whether you're doing strength training, whether you're doing rock climbing, whether you're doing biking, it doesn't matter. You should know exactly what you're gonna be doing for that day. Tip number three is going early. I want you to train as early as possible, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and train like at 5:30, but you should be training very early. So if you can train before work, that's great. If not, you need to be training right after work, because the more time that you give yourself, the less chance that you're gonna be able to make that gym time. Plus, do you really wanna be going to your workout while you're tired? And here's the cool thing. If you're working out consistently at the same time every day, or let's say you're getting started every other day, your circadian rhythm will start to match that time that you work out at, so that you're gonna have the most energy at that time to be able to work out as long as you're doing it at that same time every day, or perhaps every other day. So the next group of tips contain the social element of increasing your motivation. So when you're a kid, I would imagine that when you were playing, you'd probably play with your friends and it was fun to do stuff. Well, we need to incorporate that as part of your workouts. So it's going to be critical that you use some social influence. So some people will post on social media what their workouts are. Some people will film their workouts. You don't necessarily need to do that, but you should have some accountability. That might include finding a workout partner or finding someone who you know that you can tell is going to hold you accountable. Getting that social support and accountability is going to help increase your motivation to work out in the long term. And part of holding us accountable is reaching our goals. And this is part of measuring our progress. So let's say, for example, that your goal is weight loss. Well, I'm not going to be working out for 6 months or a year without ever checking my weight. I'm going to make sure that I'm checking my weight, or at the very least, making sure that my pant sizes are decreasing so I can fit in my new pair of pants that I'm going to be getting. So if you're into strength training, I want you to keep a training log where you can measure your progress and you could definitively see how strong that you're getting. And I want you to look at before, and that's going to help increase your motivation too, so you can keep on getting stronger and stronger. If your goal is running or biking, you can see how long you bike for, or your speed, to make sure that you're improving with that. The more that you're progressing, the more it naturally sets itself up for making goals where, let's say that you got stronger in the bench press. Well, your goal might be, okay, I want to lift 225 pounds for 5 reps, or for however much it is here, right? But the stronger and stronger that you get, the more exciting these new goals will become for you. All right, so these last group of tips are what I called training hacks. They have a low cost to invest into, but their payoff is really high. So tip number 6 is failure. You have to expect failure. No one goes to the gym every day for 20 straight years unless they have a clinical disorder, which you do not want. So when you do fail, I want you to forget about it. You're getting back in the gym as soon as you can, whether it's the next day or the next day after that. But the longer that you wait, the harder it's going to get back into the gym. And the sooner you get back into, well, the more you can easily forget about your past failure. I've missed just a few workouts in the past couple years, and I can tell you that I don't even remember when those happened, and they were insignificant to my progress because I've been making at least 97, 98, 99% of my workouts. The other thing is that make your goals concrete so that you're going to work out this many times a day. I don't necessarily want you to think about losing 5 pounds a week or anything like that. You're going to eat this many calories and you're going to work out this many times a day, okay? And that's going to be, those goals are concretely achievable versus goals that you don't have any immediate direct control over. And that's another great way of measuring your progress. Now this brings us into tip number 7, which I call the 5-minute rule. All right. Let's say you're feeling really down, you're feeling low motivation, you haven't got enough sleep. I want you to try working out for 5 minutes. If at the end of that 5 minutes you feel worse than when you came in, you have to recover. There are times where you should not force it. In fact, if you force it, it can make it worse for you. You can get sick, you can sustain an injury, you can lower your motivation to work out the next day, and you got to recover. But let's say after working out for 5 minutes, you're feeling the same or feeling a little bit better, then I want you to work out for 5 more minutes and keep following that rule. So the idea with the 5-minute rule is that sometimes we can't really trust our brain signaling to tell us what to do in the moment because it's only going to be temporary. And if we just ride out that temporary period where our brain's just doing something kind of funky and we get out of it, we're going to feel great. However, let's say that you are getting under the weather and getting sick, well then you need to respect that and you should recover. In fact, it's going to pay to recover first and then work out later or not get injured than it is to get injured or get sick. Tip number 8 is you have to start with something realistic. A lot of you overestimate how much you've done because you've done athletics and sports in the past and you think that, oh, I can go out and run like, a 5-minute mile. You're definitely not going to be running a 5-minute mile after not running for 15 years, okay? You have to start taking it easy, and one of the biggest predictor of injuries is high volume early. So I don't want you to be piling on a ton of volume, either with strength training, which volume simply means how much work that you're doing in a given amount of time. So I want you to progress up gradually, make sure that it's doable from a time and intensity aspect. As long as it's achievable and you're achieving it, it'll help you recover for the next workout. So tip number 9 is celebration and rewards, okay? It's imperative that you celebrate sometimes your success. Now, what do NFL, NBA, NHL champions do when they win their title? They celebrate, and you should be celebrating too for hitting your milestones or your goals. Go out, get yourself a new pair of clothing, binge watch something, give yourself a mini vacation, allow yourself to do something that you really like. Now, the only caveat to that would be, of course, pigging out on high-calorie ice cream or something that's going to help ruin your goals. But give yourself something that you genuinely enjoy and like, right? Now, this brings us into our last tip, which is not really a hack, but which I call co-habits. You should be having regular habits which support your workout habits. So, for example, if one of your goals is to lose weight, well, chances are you're going to be watching your nutrition. I mean, if you're not watching your nutrition at all, you're probably not going to lose any weight. So if you have a nutrition goal, that can help your training goal. Similarly, if you have a sleep goal, that can also help your training goal. So all these goals can help support each other so that even if you're lagging on one, it's likely that, let's say you're logging in your foods and you have to log in your exercise for the day. If you didn't do anything for that day, oh, well, now it's time to get back on the horse and get back on it again. So there's other accountability apps that can help, like DietBet, Pact, Stick.com. Use these to make yourself accountable, and that can increase your motivation to help hit your goals. So if you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to hear your tips down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching.